The Membership Spending Analysis Report looks at member spending based on their historical status/activity/category. Depending on the report format chosen, when you set up the report, you can define spending groups and age groups, which allow the club to tailor their analysis to know where and what ages of members are spending or not spending. There is also a feature allowing for comparisons over multiple periods, which will show how spending is trending. To set up and run the report, you'll want to start by navigating over to Club Management, Membership Demographics, Membership Analysis, and then select the Membership Spending Analysis. From here, we can go ahead and select our club. Then we'll go ahead and complete the settings in each applicable tab. Note that for the example in this video, we will not be covering all of the available settings. Documentation is available, which will list all available settings in more detail. So we'll start off with the Parameters tab. The first setting we have here is the report format, where you can select which of the reports you would like to run, and each report offers a different look. The first report gives the spending results of members based on their status, activity, and category for the comparison timeframes you specified. The second report does the same thing but breaks the report out further by ages. The third report does the same thing, however, just by ages. The fourth report does the same as the second report, but groups further into spending amounts. And the last report is similar to the fourth option, but shows only 2 periods to see how things have changed over those 2 periods. For our example, we're going to go ahead and use the first report, which is the spending by status, activity, and category. Next, you can go ahead and set the as of date. This date will be used to figure out what the membership looked like starting from that date. Then you have member age/count as of. This field will determine what the age of the member is, and the number of members for the member count based on the start or end of the period. We're going to go ahead and choose start of period, which will calculate all the ages and count of memberships as of the first day of the period being reported on. Include members without fee billing. Select this field to have members with no fee billing schedules attached to their member file included on the report. They will appear as belonging to activity and category none. Then you'll want to go ahead and choose your output file. Your choices include Microsoft Excel or a text file, both supporting multiple file extensions. After selecting the file format, the fields listed below will be enabled based on the type of file format chosen. We will need to make sure that we do populate the path/file name, which indicates where and what file name is desired to hold the report data. On the right, you have Roll Up to Primary. You can select this field to take the sales of all dependents and include them in the primary member sales, and therefore not show the dependents on the report. Use fee billing of primary. Select this field to have dependents that don't have any fee billing schedules attached to them take on the characteristics of their primary members' fee billings for the purpose of the report. Add Details Worksheet. Select this field to have an additional Details tab or file containing all of the member info that went into creating the report as a backup. Next, we have the Member Classifications tab. The first setting you have is do members have more than one fee billing? You can use this field to indicate if your members have multiple fee billing schedules attached to their billing screen. If they do and the setting is set to yes, the member will populate multiple times on the report. Unless you set Count Member Only Once as yes, then the member will only appear once on the report. Then you have the method. This setting is only enabled when do members have more than one fee billing and Count Member Only Once are both set to yes. Use this section to determine which fee billing to base the count on, either ranking order or fee billing line number. Ranking order allows you to set which fee billings take priority, where fee billing line number considers only what is on the line in the member setup. Below that, we have the member status filter. Use this list to filter the report to show only the selected member statuses. By default, all are selected, but you can deselect statuses or use the right-click function to affect many at one time. Lastly is your select activity. This will be enabled when do members have more than one fee billing is set to no. From here, you can go ahead and select your desired activity type, and the grid will populate with all categories belonging to that type. Then you can go ahead and move on to your Comparison Filters tab. The Compare option indicates what date measure you wish to use to compare the state of the membership in the past. And how far back. Here you can enter the number of periods, with the suggested maximum being displayed on screen. From here you can move on to the Age Groups tab. Note that this tab will not be available when the report format field is set to the first report, Spending by Status Activity category, which we are currently using. So here's an idea of what that tab would look like. If available, this setting is optional if you wish to select a predefined age group, if the club has them set up, or manually specify the from and to ages. Next, you have the Spending Groups tab. Here you can go ahead and use the Type column to indicate what source of spending you wish to report on, and choose between category or group. The groups are predefined by the club. The heading description will be pre-filled with whatever description is associated with the type of spending info you've selected. However, you can go ahead and double-click on the cell to edit the text. Lastly is your Spending Threshold tab. This tab will only be available when the report format field is set to option 4 or 5, which include by threshold. Here is an example of what that tab will look like. Here you will be able to specify the range threshold based on, which will determine where members should appear on the resulting report if their spending is in different spending groups. And you can choose between the options of total spent and specific spending group. You can also set the first/second period date range. If you're using the spending percentage change between 2 periods by threshold report format, which allows you to define the 2 periods to be used to calculate the percentage increase/decrease over time. You can also use the Spending Threshold Code field to select a predefined threshold code, if the club has them set up, or manually define the threshold ranges to be used to break up the report into sections. Once you have populated all your settings, go ahead and click OK to run the report. After clicking OK, you can go ahead and click Yes in the pop-up to proceed with the report. If there are any errors or missing fields, these will be noted via a pop-up after clicking OK and before the report can be run. If you checked Launch File when ready within the Parameters tab, the report will open in the chosen format once complete.